Howdy, this is Mark from Nothing More, and you're watching Backstage Explorers. So come on over here. So this is my pride and joy right now. I'm very excited about this guy. Oh no, look at this. You get to witness this just as I'm witnessing it. No! That's all right. This is what happens on the road though. It's good, you know, builds character, a little personality there. That's what happens when you rock too hard. But yes, as you can see, all these custom inlays, Aristides Guitars, brilliant company. They're so good. Everything they do is custom. So I told them about the cymbals down the neck, you know, black and gold. They did this binding, which they said was really annoying and tough, but they freaking did it. I have a piezo switch here actually. So for songs like Jenny and Down the River, it's fun. I can get a really cool acoustic sound out of it. So that's been my newest trick or thing that I'm exploring and really enjoying. And yeah, you got these hip shot tuners, of course. So those are killer, and this is really nice what they started doing. Just this kind of like plexiglass see-through, so you see all the inner workings. And these are Fishmans. They even did the little gold there. Asked them to do that. Man, they're such a good company. Pascal and the boys are so good to me. Let me show you some other guitars over here. So just like their Tele model that you just saw, this is their same build, custom as well. Yeah, this one does have an Evertune. I have it in drop C. But these days with technology, gosh, I pitch so many things that it kind of doesn't matter what tuning it's in. I just kind of compensate with EQ and do a bunch of different things, especially when you're traveling far from home, flying places, and you can't bring, 72 guitars. You just have to bring 6. Look at this. Our guitar tech's got a little cheat sheet, so there you go. You get to see them all. 11 to 54. I love the wound G too. I'm an absolute wound G guy. I don't like the sort of fishing lure type of feel on the G string.
It doesn't stay tuned though.
Right? Yeah, that's what I think. This guy's my backup 8 string. More Fishmans, as you see. Beautiful though. It's so nice, and I think it's the lightest too, which is cool, and it has the raw finish on it that you see, which is really, really cool. More string gauges for you here, all the way to 80, and I have it in a stupid tuning, which is fun. You can kind of hear it's an open tuning, so it is drop E, and then the top 3 strings are C sharp. They're both unison, these two, and then this one's a 5th below. Ernie Ball users for a very long time. They've helped us out early on, and they've been part of the Nothing More family ever since. Yet another Aristides build. This nice pearl white with an Evertune, as you see. And I have some lace sensor pickups right here. They were nice enough to even put a little logo on there, which is so cool. This guy's nice. I think I have him in. Yeah, actually, as you see, we had a little accident here. So sometimes, your strap falls out, right? Well, you aren't supposed to drill into these, but we totally did. And as you see, it totally broke off. But when you feel this now, actually, we had a friend, Devin, actually epoxy this. And I think it gives it character once more. So it's kind of funny, but she lives, she still plays. We have another white build. This is actually the first Aristides that I got from them that they made me. As you see, it's the most road worn. Definitely got dings and everything, so many, but it still sounds amazing. And there's just something about how gritty this one gets that I still use it on, like This Is the Time and Don't Stop. I have it in a kind of silly tuning. Again, I like my silly tunings, which is basically, it is drop C, but the low strings tune down to A.
Power chord gives you an octave.
Yeah, doing something different. A lot of times when you throw yourself outside your comfort zone, you'll find that what you discover is really unique. There goes a pick. Actually, you can see these picks too. this was fun to to have this little cute character. It's me. I know. Yeah, you can see InTune guitar picks there. They've been great with us for several years too. But this one is my main 8-string that I have been playing for songs like If It Doesn't Hurt and Spirits. These are actually Lundgrens, not Fishmans, and they're great. They get really gritty, really dirty. Same tuning though. Yeah, that weird sort of open C sharp drop E thing. But yeah, these are Circle 3 designs. Trying to look for the logo. I think it's on the back. They're a great company, and they can build to spec any sort of dimensions you want. This absolutely helps flying, and you can really lock them in here up top and bottom and completely get secure and not worry at all. Travel can be, you don't want stuff shaking around. Now as we carry on over here to the rig, lots of XFXs, Fractal audio. Great stuff. This is these are my two guys right here. I have a backup system going on. Yeah. So you have absolute synchronization. If for whatever reason something happens and it's sounding weird in one of them, you can just switch right over to the other one.
That is so cool. And
it helps so often because sometimes we actually have all of our presets and scenes all MIDI mapped in Ableton. So if for some reason it gets a wrong read and it's like I'll do my signal, which is back up to my guitar tech, and he'll just and seamless, and then you're good. It's happened so many times. But here I won't go through every single preset, but you can kind of see what I'm working with here. So I kind of have my standard beginning of the chain, a few compressors, and then like this song, it starts with kind of like a bunch of pitch going on actually here, an octave below, octave above, a fifth mixed in there to kind of give a really sort of gritty octave tone. Couple distortion pedals, and then I'm running basically stereo. You can kind of see stuff is panned hard left.
So 2 different amps?
And hard right, which is fun. Being a one guitar band, sometimes it can be difficult to get a full-bodied sound. So it's nice with technology like this that you can kind of split the sound, throw it off a few milliseconds, about 20 or so, and then you'll get a much bigger, wider sound, which is really neat. So, and the same thing with the cab here. I have this is fun. I grew up kind of playing the Marshall 1968 cab, and we used to have another guitar player, and he was actually a Mesa guy. So these cabs are great in these emulators. So I actually have one left and one right, and then the delay offset there. But that's kind of the XFX Fractal audio thing going on. Here, I can walk you to the pedals or whatever, my pedal setup. I wish I had 20 bajillion pedals like I used to when I first started, which was a lot of fun. Everything these days is digital, but it's really nice, honestly, because whenever you run into a problem with all the analog gear, sometimes it's like, where is the problem? I have 20 pedals and I don't know if it's the power on this one or just the cord or cable on this one. So it's really nice to do the Fractal setup here. And I actually kind of have a looping station. This is my kind of standard default, to where I'll just hit record and then I'll hit it again, and it'll actually loop apart, and then I can kind of overdub on myself, which is a lot of fun. Good old tuner right there, of course.
Tempo problems when you loop?
Sometimes I totally fail, and it gets off, and then I can kind of feel the side eye, But, that's what it is to be human.
Because you guys play to a beat, right?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. But yeah, and then here's this neato, fantastico drum here. But actually, our band is into all this sort of metal welding gear and everything kind of that you see. Dan actually built this stuff, our bass player, years and years ago, which is fun. It always helps to, really spend time and invest your energy on those things that make you unique. So also, actually, I don't know where it is. I don't know where Drumtron ended up. I was going to show you that in the Bassinator thing, as it's really unique and more metal stuff. But who knows where it is? It needs to be off stage. Other bands need to sound check. But yeah, that's my rig. Yeah, absolutely. So it starts about like 2 hours before show. I'll start with a tea, kind of like a hot toddy. So basically doing a little whiskey, like some throat coat lemon and ginger tea. Slowly sip on that and then kind of work through a Melissa Cross warm-up routine, which is kind of your standard sort of choir type of warm-up, really focusing on where you can place kind of the timbre in your voice and work on all those distinct tones. That really helps get things going there. I do some push-ups, some calisthenics, some sit-ups to get that going. Change into the, show clothes. I mix my stage drink, which is a water with some electrolyte mix, and throw some whiskey in there too. So I'm getting down while I'm going up, hydrating too. And if there is like a little energy shot or something, or a Red Bull, I'll typically have some of that and a shot of whiskey too. So Nothing More is absolutely powered by whiskey. We're believers in, feeling a little loose. It helps the energy, gives you that liquid courage. Not too much though, because then it's like you're playing in different keys and hitting sour notes all the time. Fortunately, actually, yes, now our gear live is the same as the studio. It used to be, I would say, different, but honestly, like the Fractal Audio Axe Effect stuff has gotten so good that, yeah, I leave it recording and it's cool. You can take that sound over live and it's the exact same thing. And, a little tweak here or there, how something sounds through a big PA. But for the most part, yeah, it is the exact same. I would love to bring out, several different old analog heads or cabs, but we put our crew through so much, at this stage of things. It's nice to, like, I have this pedal board, I have my setup over here, and then I'm done. And then you can have kind of more room for risers and other weird bassinator drum things. I don't think it's anything too special. Your toiletries, all of your show clothes, of course. Oh, I really like to carry a little photo book with me of my family, my wife, my son, our cats, and my mom, dad, and I actually kind of like put the little photos in my bunk in the bus, where I sleep. So it's nice to, wake up and go to bed and, you see a little family there, which is cool. That is an absolute. Ooh, that's a good one. Lately, I'm really enjoying the song Stuck. It's off the new record Carnal. On recording, it's a feature with kind of this sort of funk metal hip-hop artist, and live I'll kind of take it over and own the mic a bit for a verse and a bridge, which is a lot of fun. And honestly, it's helped me develop my scream and my voice a lot more, to where when you are doing 20, 30 shows in a tour, especially with these long headline sets, we're playing like a 90-minute set. Johnny's voice gets really tired, so anything that Dan and myself can do to help relieve a lot of that. There'll be certain vocal handoffs or like high things that it's like, I'm gonna save myself on this one so I can enter strong on the chorus. He'll totally throw it to us, and I think it only helps us develop our voices, and happy to do it. We've got the snuff, it's good. Yeah, you don't do these interviews. No.
I was expecting that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You do try to go on vocal rest, but honestly, things like those teas, making sure you warm up properly, try not to, talk like crazy after the show or do a lot of screaming, yelling, which can be hard to do because you just want to live your life, But I'd say the best comparison is kind of like an athlete. You have to think about what they have to do, how they have to protect their muscles, because it really is their income too. And it's not just you're on a team. And if you go down, the whole team can go down. So they can only do so much to kind of like help you up. But you just try to be careful, it's not like I'm going out and going crazy skateboarding or doing something that involves these fingers. I love basketball though, but I don't play on the road as much. Right. There are certain songs that you absolutely have to play. The hits, you know, the ones that if you don't play, the crowd's gonna revolt. For us, it's songs like Jenny and Ballast, and even some new ones, which is cool, If It Doesn't Hurt and Go to War. But then kind of after the hits, there are songs that actually, maybe they don't do as well online, but live there's just a huge energy to them. Kind of songs like Don't Stop. There's something really cool, sort of this hip-hop thing happening with the intro, and we try to lean into things that make our band a little more unique. And that way, especially if you only have 90 minutes or even less, you try to stand out amongst the sea of rock bands, metal bands. So we'll kind of pick and choose those things, or songs like Christ Copyright where Johnny is playing Drumtron. We started doing this cool, it's a dueling drum solo, goes into a guitar solo, goes into this spinning bass solo. Nothing More has always been a band to where we've elevated kind of our live theatrics or just entertaining aspects of our show that are unique and just make it entertaining. A lot of bands forget that you're on a stage, and sometimes they just play their songs and they don't even feel their songs or get energetic about them. I really hate doing that, but we definitely steer into the things that are more exciting. They only make you a better player as well as put on a show. That's what we're here to do.